I continue the discussion on the business of fashion. South African Fashion Week is the only business-to-business platform that markets and promotes designers throughout the globe. This year's event for the Spring-Summer 2021 showcases will happen virtually because of the coronavirus restrictions. Now, in its 24th year, the event will be showcasing 28 designers, including the finalists of the New Talent Search 2021 competition, as well as the Diamond Fibre Collections, which are in collaboration with the SA Mohair Cluster. Fashion Week is set to take place from the 29th of April up until the 1st of May. But to tell us more about the trajectory that the fashion industry has taken since the existence of COVID-19 in the country's fashion is fashion designer Ephymol, local fashion designer Ephymol. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I can't believe it's been 19 years for you. You started off as a model,
yes.
You know, making girls breathless as they saw you in magazines and posters, and transitioning to a self-taught designer. Take us through that journey.
You know, when I finished, I remember the last day when I finished doing my show, ramp show at the Fashion Week, and I sat there and I said, like, I need to change my life. I cannot be a model forever. I'm growing old and all that. And I took decision right and then, and I told the Sila boys from Fashion Week, I said, I think this is my last time I do fashion as a model. And she was like, you're not going anywhere. So her and Dion Chang, they set me down. They were like, you know, you gotta start your own collection. I said, collection? I don't know how to draw. I never how to sketch. I've never been to fashion school. They said, you're natural, Ephraim. You got everything in you. And then all you need is just get a tailor seamstress. And then, let me say, 19 years down the line, here I stand.
Wow. Yeah. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
And, of course, it needed to have come from somewhere in terms of your bold, masculine tailoring when it comes to how you grew up and your upbringing influencing the way in which you present your fashion statement. You
know, my grandmother, she was one of the influencers to me because she used to do a lot of tailoring. She would send us to the shops, and my mother's sister, she used to sell fabrics in the store where she works. And I used to get fascinated by fabric, the smell of the fabrics and all the kind of things. And I wasn't even knowing if this fashion or all these things. But my mother as well, she was a fashionista. I mean, so she knew her. She used to dress up to the T. Whenever we go to Mirafi Station on Sundays, she would dress us and we all look good and always look great. And not knowing that she embedding all this in me. And then later on stage, I've started working as a model, travel international, work for the big brands. You know, I remember I was one of the first black model, if I may say, to do the brand called Diesel Jeans campaign, ever use a blackface, and then that catapulted me into the next level. And then when I came back home and then just started working around the fashion industry, and I started working as a stylist and meeting lots of beautiful people in the industry, your brand of us, Brave Matosas, and then styling them and giving them that, and that's sort of like a molding of where I want to be. And then I sort of like took a chain reaction, and then I ended up being a designer I am today. And then I remember when the first collection I started, 2002, we came out very bold. We never used to wear pink colors, never used primary colors. And we came and disrupted the whole industry. And then we used a lot of tailored, but in a very street way. Because I love how Maswenkas, Panzulas in the township, Golgasi, used to dress. You know, they dress to the T, they'll wear their caps and all the Sophia Town movement. You know, I used to watch how people in the Sophia Town, how they used to dress in the 50s. And all that, it just came into me, and it really inspired me, the culture. Yes. With
this cultural inspiration, as you showcased in 2002, you are still a feature in 2021.
Yeah.
And as I spoke to Lucilla, she was telling me how you found ways around working during COVID-19, how you would deliver, you know, a few dresses to clients you think may be interested, just showing that, you know, fashion is indeed a business, and of course you know your clientele, you know who who would want what, and delivering your collections to get people to try and decide.
You know, when the president called, when made that call, said, today we close in the country, the whole world shut, our world shut. You know, as a designer, it's like, where everything stopped. You can't trust, there's no metric dances, there's nothing, everything stopped, shops closed. How do you make a living? And quickly, I just said, you know what, the masks. I think I was one of the first designer in the country to actually create a mask, cloth mask. And really, that was another transaction into, like, you know, we need to start slowing down in fashion because people are not going anywhere. you're not going to the functions as you used to do. You're not, everybody's lounge. And then we started recreating, rethinking how to make clothes that are still very unique and still very working, but very loungy and very soft. You know what I mean? We started doing like a very soft but easy to wear garments. And then I call all my clients and, hey, I'm here. Do you guys still, even when at home, still do a Zoom meeting? You need to look nifty and still look relaxed. And then I started doing that and recreating the whole new soft but easy to wear and still very on a up edge market as well.
And going into the 2021 Fashion Week, talk us through what you'll be bringing on stage there.
It's amazing because, no one's got money. The country's broke. So if the whole entire country's broke, we all broke. And I just look in my fabric shop room, and I was like, you know what, I've got no money to buy new fabrics, and then let me recycle whatever I've got. So I started recycling and then reworking all other factions, my other collections from when I started bringing those new, like really going back and looking like a man in a mirror, looking back and said, this is what made who I am today. Let me just bring all those elements, the strong elements of what made me, and then started recreating, and with the fabrics cut here and there, and then, like I said, we're going green, recycling, and then we're not throwing any even a small thread we're not throwing away, a little button we're not throwing away, and I started making all that. So we started creating the whole entire collection for 2021, 2022, and it's very beautiful. It's
beauty
yes.
in sustainable fashion.
And sustainable.
And we know that the fashion industry on its own is a massive contributor when it comes to pollution and wastage of fabrics, because I mean, offcuts essentially have nowhere else to go but becoming big polluters. How important is it to recycle and think out of the box and reuse fabrics to the point where it's on runways?
I've been advocating quite a lot about going green and all that, and we're still very far away. I mean, we say Far East is still a very main contributor of pollution, of polluting, and when we come back home and tell people how this it affects not only you, but it affects the whole entire globe, world, people still don't understand until you show them with examples like, if that kind of particular outfit is going to be the dye that is going to be washed out, it goes into a water that you cannot even drink anymore. We have seen in Lesotho when some big companies polluted water, and water couldn't be drank. So it's very important what you just said, that we need to recycle. Just like any plastics, when we buy soft drink and throw it away, it goes into the ocean, goes anywhere. So we need to recycle everything and then try to clean up our acts.
Absolutely.
And save for our kids.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time
Really
and sharing your story with us. Fashion